Morning, it's Patsy. So today I've come on to show you a couple of different ways that you can work with the charms. These are my charms in here. I started off the other day with a video on how I use them with cards and showed you some of them. There's a few new ones in here. I had some new ones come yesterday, so they've been added in here. So that's the charms. So I showed you how you could add them to cards. Just give them a shuffle while I talk to you. To add on to reading, to set the intentions of adding them to the reading. This is another way. I've just grabbed a handful out of my bag and I give them a shake in my hand and then cast them. Okay, so there we go. So they've been cast. So they'll, whether or not you read reversals is individual choice, the same as tarot. I don't read reversals on tarot, so I don't read reversals on charms either. So I'm going to take away all the ones that are reversed. That one's reversed. Trying to see, yeah. So there we go. So I've took away the is that one reversed? No, took away reversed. So first of all, if it's a I've got a couple of charms in there, what arrows. If an arrow come out, it will be pointing to the important part. This hasn't got any arrows come out, so that would be the first thing I'm looking for. Oh, it is upside down. Yeah, so I'm going to take them away. Sometimes you don't spot them till you start looking fully. So yeah, so if you got the arrow, then you know you're looking at the important parts. If there's no arrow there, then if it's grouped together, then that's the important area that you should be looking at. Things further away are not so relevant in the reading. They're further away, or energy what's gone, or energy that's on the outskirts, but are not of major importance. The centre will always be the groupings. So the thing whatever stands out to you, I mean, the fact that the scythe, oh, I'm just knocked over, the scythe has come out in this group and right bang smack with these things in the circle, these kind of things, tells me that there's going to be a lot of swift movement. There's a lot of things being cut out of whoever you're reading for's life, because the scythe will come quick and it'll cut fast, but it will it can also be to harvest as well, but usually I use it as very much as well like the scythe in the Lenormand. So it's a quick moving, quick energy what takes away anything that it's pointing to. So if this was pointing to say this little flower here, the flower for me is something that's blooming, it's an abundance. The scythe is pointing to that, so it's going to cut away any abundance that there's going on at the minute. Something that is growing, and you know it's starting to grow nicely. Suddenly there's going to be an end to it. It's going to come to an end. So if somebody was asking about a relationship, then you know it's been growing nicely, but for some reason this is going to come to an end. So you could read it like that if it was about a relationship. Again, for work related questions, anything, you know, whatever the question is, with the scythe there pointing to the abundance and the blooming flower being blooming in abundance to me, then that is going to be cut short. There's going to be something what ends it. So that's how you could read that question. Do you know what I mean? Because that's prevalent in the middle. But the owl's there, which talks about knowledge, and the spinning wheel about creating something new. So, you know, you could say, yes, this is coming to a end, but you've got knowledge to now move on and take that as a learning curve. You know, you've got knowledge to start again and to rebuild. So this is, you know, where the scythe is pointing to. You've also got the dolphin, which is very, to me, an emotional, watery energy. So, yes, it might be emotional, and there might be disappointment because the heart's there. And the feather, which is, to me, is always that you know, like feathers float and sort of very slow moving, flowing movement. So even though you're disappointed and you know emotional. You know yourself that it was just, it wasn't moving, because this horse is on a rocking horse. Look, it's not a proper horse, it's just a rocking horse. So the relationship's been stagnant, or the workspace has been stagnant, whatever's been stagnant, and it's not been moving very fast. It's just been drifting along, and yes, it's disappointing, and yes, it's an emotional, but it is needed. It is needed to cut the ties with whatever this relationship, work, whatever, because you are got the knowledge and you are wise enough to know that you can start afresh, something new, and build on that. So that's how you could read that bunch. And then you've got the Q, the letter Q there, and you've got the letter 8. So the Q could be relevant in a name of somebody who's, you know, involved in this situation, or it could just mean the name Q, you know, the word Q, that you've probably been hanging around, that kind of energy that you just been sort of, energy's been backed up and not moving. You're just queued up in that movement, a bit like the horse and the feather. It's very slow moving. You're in a queue, it's very slow moving. And the number 8 could become important. But then you've also got the 8 ball, don't you? Take your look, bit of chance, that sort of thing. So that is that grouping. And then, like I said, you could then say, you know, these ones are irrelevant because it's not in the grouping, and that one's irrelevant and these two are relevant. Or you could read them as things that have gone on in the past that's kind of brought this situation about. So we've got the sewing machine here. So you've probably known for a while that things haven't been working out, but you've tried putting it in, repairing it, and putting things together and trying to move forward. And the umbrella here is sort of, you've had to shield yourself a lot from this negativity that is involved in the situation and whatever. So, you know, there's been a lot of negativity. You've tried to build on it. You've tried new things, but nothing has really worked out. At times you've probably felt, you've got a pair of shoes here, you probably felt that you was treading on eggshells, that kind of feeling. So this is how the past has kind of brought this all about. You know, it's been a negative experience. You've tried to fix it when things haven't seemed right, but you've always felt that you've been walking on eggshells. The relationship or the work, whatever it is we'll go on with relationship, has been very slow moving, ain't been going nowhere. It's become very emotional and disappointing for you. Now's the time it's been cut out. The energy needs to be gone. It's been cut out, and you're wise enough and knowledgeable enough to know that it's the best thing to do, to rebuild your life and to grow on. So that's what you would get from this group. And this one up here is just way up here, so you probably wouldn't read that with the, but if you did, then that again is a slow movement. You know, above it all is just a slow movement. And the bottom two here, you have the star, which is the hope, and the hate, which could be hope. So hope for better things, and, you know, don't give up. Just, yes, it's a bit hard at the minute, but you know it's for the best, and things are going to work out fine in the future. You know, keep your eye on the future goal, not what's going on at the minute. So that's the kind of thing that you can get just by throwing some into a board and taking out the reversible ones or whatever, taking notice of where they're falling, whether they're in groupings, whether they're behind the grouping, in front of the grouping, that kind of thing. So that is the kind of thing that you can get with that. And then you can get these sort of things, which is like this come with a casting kit that I got, and it's just a small piece of board that's got friendship, love, self, family, work, finances, home, travel. You could again just grab a small handful, piece of cotton there, take that out. Just grab a few handful. If they just wanted to know about the home life, you could just chuck some on and see what ended on there. Or if you wanted a general reading or whatever, you know what I mean, you can just chuck and see where they land. Again, I take the reversibles out. So these are all, is that reversed? No, that's not reversed. Is that one reversed? Yeah, that one's reversed. That one's reversed, and that one's fell out. So we'll take that. So we've got in the work, we have, in the work relation, here at the work section we've got the what I call the Ace of Wands, because it reminds me of the Ace of Wands. So this could actually be the Ace of Wands, because I think I did get a set of tarot related charms. So the Ace of Wands in the work is a great place to fall, where it's, you know, something very creative and new beginnings and all that kind of energy, fire energy, something that you're working at, something very passionate to you, that kind of thing. In the finances, we've got the number 8. So number 8 could be important to do with the finances, but the 8th month could be an important time for finances, so you would sort of be aware of something around the 8th month or the 8th day. It could be even payday on the 8th or August, the month of August. There's going to be some change in finances, whether for the better or the worst. I mean, so that's how you could read that. Then you've got in the travel compartment, and we have the sun and we have the dog. Well, dog in the Lenormand system is, and now I'll read a lot of my charms. This is about friend, you know, people who are close to you, people who are loyal to you, people you can trust, people that are close to you, and that nice easy feeling that you get when you're with them. So there may be travel involved with going to meet these friends, and it's going to be a happy occasion because they've got the sun there. So again, there's some travel involved where you're going to be visiting friends and it's going to be a happy occasion, or you're visiting them for a specific reason, whether that's a christening, a wedding or something like that. But travel's involved in connecting with these friends and it's going to be a happy, joyous occasion. And again, we've got the friendship, and again we've got the movement, we've got the horse, and messages coming in about a friendship, what could involve this travel. They could be, the message could be that they get engaged, they're getting married or whatever. So you know, it's a good happy occasion and it's going to involve you traveling. Then in the love, we've kind of got the bird sort of hovering between the line of love and self. So the bird to me is, it can be, if you read it the Lenormand style, it can be that the birds in that card is about connecting with others, you know, because this one's alone, so it's kind of connecting with people. It can be about little groups of people talking together. This bird's alone, so to me this is more of the way I read it when it's alone like this, and there's nothing really group around it. It's nothing to do with gossip and that. If there was more around it, I would say it was to do like the Lenormand gossip and that kind of thing, and connections and connecting to people and all that. But to me, when it's alone like that, it's just take a look at a high perception about yourself and self-love, because they've probably been very critical of themselves and they need to look at the bigger picture of themselves and do a bit of self-love, because it's alone, it's just in between the two. So it's talking to me about having some self-love for yourself, and with the heart falling in the center as well, right next to that. I think that part would, to me, would talk about self-love and the importance of self-love. So that is how you can read it with boards and how you can read them on their own. I would love a cloth like this with this sort of thing on them, but I don't know anybody who sells them, which is a shame. So I have to carry on using this little board unless I can get clever enough to make myself a cloth like this with them on. But I just wanted to come on and show you a couple of different ways that I also use them and how you could use them. And I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.